welcome to what we are currently calling the ARC Show, and I'm getting absolutely roasted. All right, y'all. If you have been a longtime listener to the podcast, you'll remember the type of episode that we had. It was called Dangerous Life and, Dangerous Faith, but the Dangerous Life team, where we gathered a group of people together to talk about various cultural issues. Now, with ARC, we don't call it that anymore, but I'm still open to suggestions for what we could be right now. So, y'all, ARC Show, you're not a fan. I get it. All right, so with our type of episode where we come together as a group and talk through issues, any name ideas?
The Dangerous ARC.
Honestly, it's starting to click.
Like the vision in my head is like picture the ARC, but with like a cannon on the side.
All
of
right.
it.
So Dangerous Faith was the old name. Dangerous Life is what we did together. So Blake says the Dangerous ARC. All right. Anyone else? Zeke, Chloe, Spencer?
I'm sold.
Yeah, let's just do it.
It's better than the
I got
ARC show.
nothing better.
Yeah, it's better than the ARC Show. Because if you don't pronounce it right, it sounds like the Art Show. And last time I checked, none of us look like...
Why would you use the T?
Why wouldn't you?
Why would you say ARC is art?
I have a list.
Dude, we're in the South.
What
ARC.
Arc.
Apologetics.
ARC.
Resource. Center. ARC.
Yeah. I had to explain to my dad that it wasn't the... What's the
about-
other one for the mentally challenged one?
What?
You mean just me and my everyday
There's another
life?
ARC. So there's what Nate does, and then there's
There's the similar yet
the
different.
other one for mentally disabled people. It's like adult. Hang on.
What about dangerous apologetics?
Dangerous Apologetics. Anyways, we are workshopping the name, and Blake is looking up this disability program, I guess. But we have a couple topics for you today, and the purpose of our group coming together is we want to talk about what's going on in the culture, but from a Christian perspective. So first topic for today, we're going to cover Sydney Sweeney's ad campaign
It's not important.
for... Is that not? Is not
I'll find it
important?
later. I'll find it later.
All right. Sydney Sweeney's ab campaign.
Ab?
I said ab. So can
Art.
anyone, now you have me messing up my words.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to the show. Welcome to Dangerous ARC.
Can any of y'all explain the ad campaign and just some things going on there?
I'm gonna just veto and say I'm not gonna explain
That's
it.
probably a
'cause,
good
yeah,
idea.
that's a great idea.
I will because I'm a girl. I'm the only girl on this podcast.
Chloe, thank you.
So I volunteer as tribute. So basically, Sydney Sweeney has been the newer face, recent face of American Eagle. Just kind of producing like 3 different ads.
Thought it was Wrangler.
No,
It was Wrangler.
it's American Eagle.
It's Wrangler.
Is it not both?
It's definitely American Eagle.
The ad campaign we are talking about is American Eagle.
I saw a Wrangler ad for Sydney Sweeney. Does she do multiple jeans?
There's Gene ad is American Eagle.
Does she do a Wrangler?
Uh-huh.
What? Where did we get the idea of Wrangler? Because me and you were talking about that the other night.
Dude, we did. We said Wrangler. Oh no.
Well,
I was
this whole
probably-
podcast is a flop. Let's
All
just go on.
Yeah.
Chloe,
Okay.
continue.
Anyways, she's just advertising their jeans, and it says like Sydney Sweeney has great jeans is like the slogan. And some of the ads are a little more like sexualized than others. Like some of them are just her like walking away in the jeans. And then I think there's another one where like I didn't actually see this one, but I've heard it talked about where she's like posing really kind of sexual or like putting on the jeans, something like that,
saw
where
that
it's
one.
just a lot more sexualized. Or like there's a car in one of them, and kind of like it reminds you of like the old timey ads.
And the tagline is Sydney Sweeney has
Great jeans.
great jeans. And I want to note the difference, and we're going to connect these two, and I'm going to have some questions. Back when Joe Biden was president and you had a different cultural age, a lot of companies, they would put forward, let's say, obese, blue-haired, LGB, etc., trans influencers as, hey, y'all, this is our way of reaching the culture. Come buy our products. But now with Donald Trump and the resurgence of some right-wing cultural aspects, you'll see companies go back to traditional ways of advertising, which is I'm going to put women in my ads with various amounts of clothing, and I'm going to try to sell products that way. So it's like the return of right-wing traditional lust, so to speak. Blake, what?
The Return of the Jedi. I'm sorry.
Return of, yes, the Jedi. Right-wing conservative lust. And so I've been looking at various conservative influencers and thinkers and Republican thinkers and all the rest of it. Some people celebrate it. They're like, well, at least it's not obese, purple-haired people and it's, Dylan Mulvaney and Bud Light and all the rest of it. It's now back to this, which is better. Then I've had other Christian thinkers say, hold on, heterosexual lust isn't better just because it's traditional, whatever. You have the Carl's Jr.'s ads.
Yeah.
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 What was the Carl's Jr.
Do you not remember? Okay, so Carl's Jr. is obviously Hardee's. Yeah.
But
So they used to have like
a worse name for a show than what it was before.
essentially,
Okay.
yeah, kind of like how you go from Dangerous Face to the Ark Show.
Yeah.
Like
Carl's Jr. is on the west side of the United States, and Hardee's is on the east side.
It's our
And
side.
yet we're in the
So-
same spot and we changed.
It's
Yeah.
California versus the good part of.
Yeah.
Anyways, so what's the ad? for
So
Carl's Jr.?
most of their ads were like women. They weren't dressed like super scandalous, but it was normally like what you would see in like the centerfold of a magazine,
Okay.
and they would just seductively eat the burger.
Uh,
And it was supposed to be like that, that
When was this?
red-blooded American. This was like, would you say this was probably early 2010,
Oh,
maybe
this is a
2008,
while.
2010. I was a kid when I saw these. Like, yeah,
The 2000s.
the 2000s.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not so like okay, they're bad. Like, don't get me wrong, but they're not like I'm not one to make it sound like it's way worse than what it actually is. They weren't like naked or anything like that. It was just weird.
Women not wearing a lot of clothing.
Eating a burger.
And so
seductively.
there's the saying like sex sells. And so the
Yeah.
thought is our culture's moving in the right direction because now you just have women in these ads versus trans people in the ads. And so look at us. We're getting back to the old days the way it should be. So as Christians, and again, we're evaluating pop culture, what are y'all's thoughts? Is this an improvement? Is it I guess I'll just leave it there. Thoughts on this direction?
I just think that it shows more and more that cultural conservatism is not conducive with conservative Christianity.
Yeah.
It's just showing that we can't just change what the lust is and be like, okay, well, this is just more Christian because it's different than the LGB and blue-haired and all that.
It just reminds me of in 1 Peter 3 when it's like, don't repay evil for evil. It's just essentially what we're doing. I don't think like, and I agree wholeheartedly with Spencer. I think like conservatism does not align with conservative Christianity. And it's just like just like you said, you can't just because you get rid of one thing that's like evil or seen as like bad, don't replace it with something that's just as evil and bad. Like, don't repay evil for evil. Like, what's wrong with just having a normal commercial with someone who just wears jeans? Like, the fact that they had to be Sydney Sweeney, and we know what they mean when they said she has great jeans. Like,
I'm curious. How do you sell clothing without it being over sexualized or the opposite of just transgender appropriate? I'm sure there's a way. I'm curious as to what would be like the Christian way to do it.
I always think of like the Old Navy commercials where it's just like you just show people wearing clothes, just doing everyday things. Like if you're trying to sell jeans, show a couple blue collar workers. If you're trying to sell like leggings or something like that, maybe you can show someone working out, but obviously they're not in like what Gymshark produces and stuff like that. These teeny tiny skin tight things. You can show someone. You could show like a great example would be like a pregnant mom maybe doing daily activities in these leggings. Obviously she's pregnant, so she needs something that's breathable.
I think one thing off of Zeke's question, you don't have to zoom in with certain parts. And so Sydney Sweeney, some of the different versions of her ads, they would make sure to zoom in on certain things that she is known for. And her doing various things with the clothing, I guess, stuff like that. And so if you just kind of take a step back and you show people, Blake said this well, just living everyday life.
Yeah,
That's all
I
you
think That's a
need.
good answer.
Also, I've just thought about this as well. When it comes to like underwear ads and stuff like that,
Never seen
just
one.
treat it like a Chinese restaurant ad.
Wait, what?
We never see Chinese restaurant ads, but we know they exist.
Do they?
No, not the ads, but the restaurants. They exist.
Oh.
Like I've never seen a shout out to Rice and Soy. I've never seen a.
So there's an ad right there.
I've never seen Rice and Soy ever be advertised on the TV, but they're there. I think it's just like with underwear, and stuff like that. You don't have to advertise it.
People know
No,
they need underwear.
Yeah, they just know they need it.
Yes. I think that's also a good point. So don't need some various lingerie type stuff.
You don't need Justin on Fruit of the
Like
Loom.
adult diapers. You know you need it, but you never see an ad for it.
Actually, they do have ads for
They
the
do have
pins.
ads.
Damn.
But they don't show the people wearing the diaper.
There you
They're
go.
doing normal everyday activity, but then they'll be like, oh.
Yeah. Thank you for the
They'll
illustration.
be like, uh-oh. Oh, yeah, for the people who can't see, I just grabbed my stomach like I had to use the bathroom.
Or like you just did.
Like I just used the bathroom.
So let me ask y'all this. In a battle of perversions, you could say, is there a preference? If you're going to see Dylan Mulvaney advertising for the trans lifestyle as normal and good, if you're going to see various aspects, let's say gay couples and stuff like that in commercials, we'd say, oh, that's bad. Is there a preference, or is it all equally bad and equally sinful in your mind?
I think Charles Spurgeon said it best. Of two evils, choose none.
Ooh.
Okay. So you're going to say there is no improvement having Sydney Sweeney a heterosexual...
If I could give it any grace, it's that it's normative. It goes back to the normative lust. But it's still not good. Like
So-
I don't give any sort of like I want either of these.
Okay, so you would say one is not better than the other. Chloe, your thoughts? Is one better than the other?
I don't think so at the root. But it's interesting for me to hear y'all talk about it, because when I watch, like, if I was to see her commercial, I'm not like affected by it like that. Like, I don't have lust for her, so it's
you
just
don't
very
swing
different.
that way? Understood.
No, I do not. But obviously, I will like look at it and be like, oh, they shouldn't have like zoomed in on her butt like that or whatever, and not like it. So like, one part of me wants to say like, yeah, I would much rather see that, because I'm a girl and I'm not gonna get lustful over that. But I don't like seeing it.
So that's interesting. And I like that perspective, because you're not into those things. It doesn't affect you. So therefore, you might rather see that versus trans activism.
Counterpoint.
Yes.
So, but you're not into trans stuff, so why do you pick that one? You're not attracted to either of them, so what's your...
I would...
Well-
I'll let Chloe.
Well, yeah, I'm not attracted to either, but I mean, you're making a good point. That's why I'm saying...
I also want to know. I'm not trying
That's
to...
why I agree with Spencer. I think they're both equally bad, but like there is a part of me that says, like I'm not affected by it, so it doesn't really. But it does affect me in some way as a girl, because my mind immediately goes to comparison. Like I'm gonna watch that and be like, oh, I wish I looked like that, or things like that. So like I am affected, just in a different way. If that makes sense.
I think, Zeke, to answer your question, what's the difference, which is a phenomenal question.
Yeah.
One is you are supposed to be attracted to Sydney Sweeney. And
But I'm
then,
not.
Oh, you want that to be associated in your brain, how marketing works. You want that to be associated in your brain with the genes, so therefore if you want to be attractive, go buy the genes.
Mm-hmm.
But the trans, it's less, be attracted to the trans individual.
Yeah.
It's more of a social justice statement. Oh, I want to buy those, let's say, jeans or Bud Light or whatever, because that company supports my values. Mm-hmm. That company is virtue signaling. Therefore, because they hired that trans person, I'm then going to buy their products, because that is a social statement I agree with.
Rotat.
So the attraction is a little bit different there, so to speak. Blake, your thoughts, is one better, or are they about equal in your mind?
So I'll come at it from a secular point of view. Not that I am an atheist or anything like that, but from a secular point of view, I think it's better if it is the normative, because one is just like you said. One is not like an agenda that's trying to be pushed forward. One is just like kind of what you're supposed to think. Like you said, you're supposed to be attracted to Sydney Sweeney. If you're a guy, and we're not talking about like if you identify as a guy, we're talking about just biological males.
Yeah.
If you're a biological male, you should be attracted to Sydney Sweeney. And it's the same thing for women. They'll show like commercials of like, I don't know, like the first thing I think of is like the fragrance commercials.
Yeah.
And there'll be like a shirtless guy and
Some
he's
French
from
model.
a French model or something
Fabio.
like that. And they're like, hey, there's this really attractive guy. Calvin Klein is another model brand like that. This is really attractive person. This is what they look like wearing this. You can look like that. You should be attracted like that. So buy our product.
Mhm.
And so
Works every time.
from a secular point of view, I think it's better if it's that way rather than the agenda, because once you start getting into sort of like the left side of politics, everything starts getting screwy and everything kind of just falls apart. Then from a Christian standpoint, with Spencer, because either way you're going to be fighting a battle, and honestly, if you had to choose between two evils, choose none.
Yeah.
And so and I guess also too as a Christian, and maybe if you wanted to give it some grace, it's easier to fight the normative lust than probably the other style. Like, it's probably easier to fight against normative lust than it is trying to argue against transgenderism. Because you go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was going to let you finish.
No, that's it. Yeah.
Well, so here's a thought. I could see a lot of Christian conservatives when they see an ad from, let's say, Nike or Target or this or that. There's a lot of people saying, this transgender stuff, we don't agree with this. We're going to boycott it. Fair. Fine. For the Christian conservative who would have said that about the transgender stuff, if any of you are that person, would you also say it about this one?
Yeah.
So would you say, I'm not going to buy American Eagle because it doesn't align with my values either?
100%. Like if you're gonna be honest with yourself, but that's the problem. Like most people aren't going to be honest with themselves, because even people who claim to be Christian conservatives, like for me personally, I won't buy American Eagle if they're gonna start going that route. But I don't buy American Eagle anyways.
Yeah. To be fair,
Yeah,
I don't either because I'm not 18 anymore.
I go to Walmart and get my Wranglers, but.
Well, you thought Sydney Sweeney was in Wranglers.
That's
so
true.
were you
And
gonna
I
stop?
was having
Would
to
you
do.
stop?
I would have actually stopped if that's what they were trying to push.
But now we know they're okay.
Yeah, now they know they're okay, so we can go get Wranglers. But to be fair, like most Christian conservatives, and this is where I have like a problem with conservatism, and then Christians kind of getting lumped into that, is they'll 100% be against all that stuff.
But then they praise it when this
Then they
happens.
praise it when this happens, and it just sheds a horrible light on Christianity. Because if you're going to boycott that, then you also need to boycott the other.
I think that just shows their standpoint more than
Right.
anything. They're not really concerned about the Christian values in it. They're just more concerned about winning a culture battle and making things look the way they think they should go.
That's exactly right. Yeah, they don't care about what we actually. They don't care about Christian values. They just care about getting us to support them, which is just annoying.
I think that's a good point. Before we move on to our next topic, y'all, conservatives and Republican values are not always Christian values or biblical values. And they would love to merge those in the culture who control these things, so that you will then just support a political party without thinking twice. Just remember that as you evaluate things, conservative Christianity is not the same as Republican, its version of Christianity. But Chloe?
Yeah, if we're about to change topics, I just wanted to say I'm kind of surprised we didn't even bring up the other controversy about this ad. You know what I'm talking about?
The jeans.
Eugenics thing.
Okay. Yes.
I thought that's originally what we were talking about before Zeke told me yesterday, and I was like,
Well,
oh.
then she reread the message and realized
We're just talking about the jeans.
So the political left looked at the statement, Sydney Sweeney has great genes. She is a white lady, blonde hair, don't know her eye color. Blue. And so blonde hair, blue eyes. And so people think that, oh, Sydney Sweeney has great genes. Obviously, that's Nazi identification. And so American Eagle, the right, Sydney Sweeney, they're a bunch of racists, anti-Semitic, all the rest of it, Nazis, because clearly she was identifying with what Hitler did many, many decades ago.
Oh my gosh.
What do y'all think of that?
It's the same song and dance.
I thought
We've heard
the
this before.
left was the anti-Semitic. I'm so confused. Am I anti-Semitic?
There are
Zeke.
two
Yes.
versions of anti-Semitism. One
Hang
is on the right, one is on the left.
Hang on. Zeke, you are.
Okay. I just need to know.
You are. I'm sorry.
Okay, that helps. That actually helps a lot.
Okay.
Now I know what to do.
Good.
Yeah.
There are a couple versions of anti-Semitism. It looks different on the left and the right, just like racism on the left and the right looks different, but we all struggle with it just on either side.
Do they realize like this is going to get old when we actually have to deal with true racism and true well, it's probably already old at this point, but when we actually have to deal with these like things that are truly racist and truly anti-Semitic that nobody's actually going to know it anymore because they've watered down what that means, like the fact that the mental gymnastics that you have to get through, that a stupid American Eagle commercial with a attractive Hollywood celebrity somehow is equal to what happened in Germany in 1940?
I could see it.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's just the old go-to when you want to insult someone. Spencer?
It's just watering down words. Like, there's no definitions anymore. Nobody actually, like, goes for the real meaning of things when they say them. It's slop.
So I remember a phrase that stayed with me. Growing up, one of my favorite movies was The Incredibles. And Syndrome, the villain, he had this line that you could use in other ways. He was trying to make everyone into a superhero, and he said, if everyone is super, then no one is, because just everyone's a superhero, so no one's a superhero. The word becomes meaningless.
Yeah.
So going to racism or anti-Semitism, if everything is racist, nothing is racist, and the word just loses its meaning. But yes, that was the political left's attack. Sydney Sweeney is a Nazi, the right is a Nazi, and that's just... I just think it's a poor reading of Sydney Sweeney has great genes. It just means she has good genes because she's with American Eagle, and that's all.
Chloe had one comment on that.
Chloe?
You said that you had respect or something.
Oh, yeah, okay. I remember now. Yeah, just one of the videos I was watching was talking about this, but one thing I do respect about Sydney Sweeney is that she's had a lot of controversy over the past however long she's been famous. About other things too, and I feel like she doesn't ever she just doesn't care. Like, she just doesn't push back. She doesn't try to fight people, which I kind of respect.
She doesn't. Sometimes when there's any pushback from either side, but particularly over the last decade, the political left, people would issue an apology, a retraction. They would just kind of squirm on the ground and be, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to. And we've learned, don't do that. Unless you've actually legitimately made a mistake, don't do that just because people get offended, because people will get offended by everything.
And I'm not saying I fully respect her either. I'm just saying that that's one part that I can respect.
Yes.
Speaking of apologies, CEO.
Oh, good segue.
That's all I had.
All right.
Yeah.
Someone describe for our listening audience the Coldplay fiasco. What happened there at a concert and some of the fallout.
Imagine if you were 4 years old and you were getting a cookie from the cookie jar, and your mom walked in and she saw you, and then you just decided you're going to jump out the window and break your legs. That's what this guy did. But with cheating.
Yeah. Two star-crossed lovers met, still married, and after one night of passion, it all came crumbling down.
This is the Blake Tetro story. All right.
True.
So, at a Coldplay concert, which single-handedly made them somewhat relevant again, but at a Coldplay concert, there was a couple, a CEO and head of HR for
the same company.
It's called The Astronomer.
Yeah, Astronomer.
And they were both married to other people, but they were cheating, and they attended the concert together. And one of the the cameras, they'll sweep the audience and try to find people to put up on the screen. They got put up on the screen, and their reaction, as Spencer was hinting at, was pretty atrocious if you were trying to be sneaky. He sinks down, she turns around, and just obviously super guilty, like the kid jumping out the window. It's like, all right, if you wanted to hide it, that's not the way you do it. But basically, yes, there's all that. I think, were they both fired?
I think he resigned, and then I know he resigned. I don't know about her.
I imagine she probably isn't there as well, but I'd have to double check that.
Did he resign?
Yeah, I think so.
But one thing I wanted to note was the culture's response to this episode. There was basically tons of, from a comedian standpoint, it's hilarious. Lots of memes, lots of videos, lots of spoofs all across sports stadiums and sporting events. People recreated the reaction of the couple, and all in fun, so to speak. All in, just trying to make people laugh, sure. But my heart also kind of hurt for the family, the two families involved.
Yeah.
Because they're basically getting mocked. Millions, potentially billions of people know about this. So their lives will never be the same. And we're all laughing. So I wonder, just leaving it to y'all, thoughts on this episode, thoughts on the response by the culture. Anyone want to start, whether it's talking specifically about the couple or about the cultural response? What do y'all think?
One thought I had, and me and Blake and Chloe talked about this, was there wouldn't have been, let's just be honest, like, this wouldn't be a story if they hadn't reacted the way they did. That's the only reason. Like, I know you said someone, I won't call them out, I won't dox them.
Yeah, don't dox.
But they were saying, like, how's it fair? Like, plenty of people do this. Why are they getting called out for this? I'm like, it's not the fact they were doing it, which was wrong. It's the fact that they reacted the way they did. If they'd played it off, the people at their company may have seen it. Yeah. Who is watching a Coldplay concert? Like, who's watching people like that?
Other than people who are at the Coldplay concert.
And you could have probably brushed off and said, hey, that wasn't us. They just happened to look like us. You could have done a million different things, but the fact they reacted this way, everyone lost it. Everyone made a big deal out of it. Now, saying that, I do feel for their kids or their actual spouse, stuff like that, that would suck regardless. And I'm not happy that their lives are going to be impacted, but that's that guy's fault. That guy and that woman's fault. Yeah. Like, same with every other cheating relationship. It's going to cause consequences. There's going to be downfall. There's going to be people who are hurt because of it, family members hurt because of it, and that's just the repercussions of sin.
Yep. That's what irritates me about cheating so much, like, beyond anything else, is because you're not just hurting yourself, you're hurting somebody's family. Like, there's a husband taking care of kids, and there was a wife who's also taking care of kids. And it's just like, people don't, it's selfishness. It really is. It's really, really selfish. And that is coming from someone, and I don't want to sit here and, like, toot my own horn. I have cheated before, and I have been cheated on. It sucks.
One other thing, I'm interested to see what y'all think about it, that I haven't really heard anyone talk about, is it almost, we live in a culture that wants to say everything's relative and everything's, subjective, and everything, it's your opinion, and that's all that matters. But it's interesting when something like this happens, all of culture agrees that what they were doing was wrong.
Right.
But why? Why is it wrong?
Maybe because it's two white, straight people.
Even if it wasn't, what's so bad about cheating if you're not a Christian?
Exactly. I think that just exposes just how we're all made in the image of God. As much as people want to deny that we are not made in the image of God, yet they want to hold to these values that God has put in us. So it just to me that just further shows that God is real. When people, like you said, they're all upset because these people cheated, but yet these are the same people that want to say, like, everything's subjective. To me, it just shows that God is real, because whether we try to refuse it or not, we are made with these values inside of us. And even if, it just reminds me of, like, scriptures where it's like, even if we don't cry out, creation will cry out. So
we have a live audience today who helped to show that the two, the CEO and the head of HR, they were not fired. They resigned.
Okay, cool.
And they were probably, sometimes people resigned because they were told, hey, you're about to be fired. So you can save face a little bit, or you can be terminated. But Blake?
Can we talk about his apology? Did anybody read the
about
apology?
that.
Yeah. Can we talk
Remind
about
me
that?
again?
Yes.
Essentially, you go ahead, Chloe. I think you would be able to summarize it all.
Well, okay, so basically he starts off by being like, I'm so sorry, like, I don't like this is going to impact my kids and my spouse, and they don't deserve that. Like, he starts off good, I think. But then in, like, the last paragraph, he's like, but I was sharing a private moment, and I don't think it should have been posted all over. And I'm like, my only thing was, you're at a public place, and you're a very, like prominent figure in your company, and, like, probably in his area too. Like, people probably knew him, maybe not her as much. But, like, they were in a public place, so they could have easily been seen by someone they knew there. So that the whole thing about a private moment doesn't even make sense.
I think he's got the apology on his phone.
So I'll read the apology real quick from CEO. I'll just say his first name, Andy. I want to acknowledge the moment that's been circulating online and the disappointment it's caused. What was supposed to be a night of music and joy turned into a deeply personal mistake playing out on a very public stage. I want to sincerely apologize to my wife, my family, and the team at Astronomer. You deserve better from me as a partner, as a father, and as a leader. This is not who I want to be, nor how I want to represent the company I helped build. I'm taking time to reflect, take accountability, and to figure out the next steps, personally and professionally. I ask for privacy as I navigate that process. And then this is what y'all are saying. I also want to express how troubling it is that what should have been a private moment became public without my consent. I respect artists and entertainers, but I hope we can all think more deeply about the impact of turning someone else's life into a spectacle. So, I hate to say this, actually I don't hate it at all. When you're at a public event or you're at a public park or whatever, there is no expectation of privacy.
Nope.
You think about you're at a basketball game or football game, cameras are always everywhere.
Yep.
I'm going to go a step further. I don't care if it was a public place. I don't care if they got filmed while they were walking down the side street, not a big event. It kind of irks me that... Irks me.
Irks, yeah.
Yeah, that works. It irks me that, like, his apology almost seemed like he was just trying to say the right words. He's like, it was supposed to be a night of fun and enjoyment. I'm like, it was supposed to be a night of you cheating on your wife. Like, you're saying, like, if this hadn't happened, it doesn't seem like he actually cares. He's just upset he got caught.
He's
Let's be
saying
honest.
what everybody wants to hear, and then how he truly feels is in that last part.
Yeah.
The part that really grinds my gears is grinds my gears.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, that works.
Irks and grinds my
Irks my-
gears.
The part that really grinds my gears is just like being filmed without my consent. Your wife didn't consent to you cheating on her. Like, I hate when people pull that consent card.
You know what butters my biscuits?
Yeah,
But
that
it
works.
works.
Yeah. Wait,
You know-
no, it actually might not work.
I don't know what butter.
That's a good thing.
That's a great thing, yeah. You know what butters my jelly?
There you go.
There we go.
You know what jelly is my hamburgers? Okay. Does that work?
Yes,
Yeah,
that works.
The fact that he is just so completely out of touch with everything in this. He's just like, he gave up his right.
Yeah.
Once you step outside your house, you give up all right to any privacy. And when you go out with your mistress on a public stage and you're worth, what, billions and billions of dollars? Dude,
What
just
just
gonna
think
happen.
was going to
Like-
happen?
just
Which
so
I think comes
disappointing.
back to the fact that it really, I'm not trying to psychoanalyze, it just feels like he's upset he got caught, not that he doesn't seem more remorseful for what he did. He just didn't want anyone to know.
Well, the classic, and the reason why we know that is because if he hadn't got caught, he'd still be cheating.
Yeah.
So you're not, like, yeah, obviously you're not sorry. You're not sorry for what you did. You're sorry that you got caught, which is evident by the last half of your apology. Like, everything you said is completely nullified because of that. Those last two sentences.
Yeah.
We should really consider how this impacts someone's personal life. Like, did you think how it was going to impact your wife whenever she found out that you were cheating?
Yeah, we should think about that, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Did you think about it?
Did I think about it?
Did he?
Did he think about it? Probably not.
Obviously not.
Obviously not. Like, yeah, he didn't think about, like, hey, this might impact my wife. Hey, this might impact my kids. This is not only going to impact my wife and kids, but this is going to impact the other spouse, the husband of the other relationship and their kids. It's so funny. It's like they don't care. Once it happens to them, then it's a problem. But they don't care when it's happening to other people.
Yeah.
It is a catch-22 with, like, making light of it because it is good that he's being exposed and he is being made fun of. I think that's a very good thing. I think some sort of public shaming should come of your huge mistakes, especially when it's on that scale.
Yeah, I mean, that's just
I think there should be some sort of that. But then on the other hand, with the families affected, it does hurt them because they have to replay it over and over again. And they, some of them may laugh at it for a moment, but it still does put in light what they had to go through.
Mm-hmm.
And for anybody, like, that can defend that and say, like, oh, I agree, they shouldn't have had their private moment, everybody's got skeletons in their closet. For the people who are like that, they're like, everybody's got skeletons in their closet. Yeah, I agree. Everybody has skeletons in their closet. And if anything, if you are actively cheating, or you've got something in your closet that you're afraid of if it got out to the public that it would cause this kind of fiasco, maybe not to this degree, but
You should stop it.
You should stop it. Like, this should be a warning. You should stop. And if you're one of those people that you've got skeletons and you're making fun of them, your day's coming. Pride comes before the fall.
The Bible has a lot to say about what is done in secret will come to light.
Yeah.
And I think this is an illustration of that. I guess I get torn because in our effort for clicks and views and subscribers and all the rest of it, we're always trying to one-up each other, to say the funniest thing, to have the funniest skit, to do all that stuff. And I'm between what Spencer said, things should be shameful, and there is a place for public shaming, but also for the families that go through it who don't deserve this. What was already painful, just from a private, personal moment, has become exponentially more painful as their private lives have come to be exposed in a very public way. So I'm torn. Public shaming does need to happen, but then also there's a lot of people in pain that it just got so much worse because of all this. So anyways.
So, but even in let's say that these two were the only two people to ever mess up. Obviously not true, but let's say they were.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be anyone who's making fun of their spouses or their kids. Like, that just shouldn't be happening to begin with.
Yes.
I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm just saying it shouldn't be. So that's
You
all
know
the
how
people making fun
culture
of
is,
them.
though.
But I'm pushing back against culture and saying, no, if I knew these people personally, I would be hurting for them. I would be with them. I wouldn't be making fun of them.
Right.
So if there's someone out there who is, then that's on them. Now they are committing the wrong.
And this is where I know in our past episodes we've often come to this. It's like, I hope those other family members of the families involved, I hope they have a good community, friends around them who, at least to their face, are not partaking in the humor and the memes and the knowing that some lives are devastated right now.
Yeah.
Whereas we're so far removed, we see more of the humor. That hopefully they have a good support group around them.
I guess what I'm trying to get at is they should have the option to turn off social media and not have to deal with this while it's still a hot topic, and not have to worry about someone bringing it up every time they go out in public.
Right.
I guess that would be the healthy medium of this guy still gets shamed, but like, hey, you as the family, if I'm a counselor or someone trying to close you, like, hey, you already know what happened. Let's stay off social media for now. It's just not healthy for you.
Right.
You don't have to see this happening over and over again.
Right.
And the
And
people
after-
around you, don't bring it up.
After all the jokes settle, we want them to come to Christ. We want them to repent of what they've done.
Yeah.
And turn to our Lord and Savior.
We want everyone involved, come to know Jesus. There is forgiveness, not, and you don't want to get this part wrong. You will face earthly consequences for mistakes that we make. We've all done it. But spiritually, from a sin perspective, we are forgiven in Christ if we turn to Him. All right, y'all. I'm going to keep workshopping the name because Blake does not love the ARC show.
Blake doesn't. I thought this was unanimous.
I thought it was unanimous.
I stand with Blake.
Okay.
Chloe,
I stand with Blake.
Oh,
I stand with Blake.
live audience,
you couldn't. Yeah, there you go.
you're not alone.
You're not alone.
You're not alone. So we will keep workshopping the name.
I thought we agreed with the dangerous art.
Some tells me he's not sold
I don't know
on.
what. That's the problem. That's the problem. We give you content. We
Am
give you.
I the
We give
problem?
you gold, and you crap on it and throw it out, and then you crap out crap, and you're like, "This is the greatest crap ever."
This is the problem. He's also the editor, so we don't really have a voice.
No,
we only
don't.
get to say what
this
he wants
whole
us
last
to say.
part's gonna get edited out.
Mm-hmm. You dang right.
All it's gonna-
Typically, I keep in y'all's roasts of me.
typically, but not this one because
I wouldn't know. I've never listened to a single episode.
Yeah, me neither.
He's censoring us.
He said
So, Blake,
Nazi.
unless you say something inappropriate, I
Blake?
typically keep
Me?
in your roasts of me.
Say something inappropriate? Are you
that's
kidding me?
Yeah.
That's not me.
Anyways, we are going to workshop the name and find something that we like.
We are not. Nate is going to, and then just surprise us, and we're gonna say yes, sir, because you pay us.
In love.
In
Yes,
love.
and love and friendship. All right, y'all. Sydney Sweeney has great genes, and the Coldplay fiasco. Again, the purpose of us coming together is to talk about pop culture from a Christian lens, biblical lens, and so that you can then go out and, Lord willing, see things in a biblical way as you evaluate culture yourself. Blake, do you want to take us home?
Scatting man thing.
Beep bop leave lava beep bop boom.
And that's the show.
Beep bop beep bop.
Boo!
So funny.
Y'all still remember that.